So we will talk about 6 assets today. Asset accounting. We discussed about the migration that day for GL. So next is CO and asset. So before moving to asset, I would just like you to go through the new features of asset accounting along with I don't know how many of you have worked, as you said that they you don't have much exposure, so I will just brief about overview of asset accounting, and then we will go into ESP 7 features and the new features for migration stuff. Right? Any questions from previous session? Any issues, any doubts, anything before we start? So AJ, you will continue in this batch only?
Then your voice is not clear. Is this some issue with your mic or something?
Let's see, I think the normal mic. Is it low or is it breaking?
It's not clear.
Okay, give me a second. Let me see my mic. Is that okay now?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. So AJ, just a question for you. So you will be continuing in the same batch or you have a different plan?
Yeah,
Hey,
this is fine.
Nitin, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, Nitin. So I think I would be joining the weekend batch. So they have put me in this batch in the meantime.
Okay.
So they said that the weekend batch would be starting sometime like this week, which has already gone by, but hopefully it will be starting next week.
Okay. Okay. So we'll start with asset accounting. So Mohammed, the session SAP took last time. There is another session planned on 2nd February. I don't know if you have registered, so you can try for that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't register for that yet because the timing is messed up. It's usually about 10 o'clock my time, Chicago time, so it's not working out for me. Do you have those videos?
They have not yet shared the recording for the previous one. So I will check. I'll check if they have uploaded on their meeting link. I'll check it again.
Okay. So, Nitin, I have one question. So,
Yes.
The 1511 upgrade, are you, so 1511 upgrade, is it, so we need to have a special session for that, or this is part of, you merging everything together, 1503 and 1511 together?
So if you remember, I had a specific slide set for 1511 update. This one. I covered specifically 1511 areas of changes have been done. All these are 1511 changes. You see, all this is 1511. The product name they change is 1511. Everything is 1511. I've already covered this. Changes in 1511.
Okay. So going forward, so if you teaching a topic, so you considering 1511 in there too, right?
No, everything is 1511.
Everything is 1511. So this is a finance 2.0.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And I have another question. So, like remember in ECC, if you have any issues with technical issues, like a debugging and stuff like that, so do we need to learn the HANA part also? Is it or is it same?
It is same.
Okay, so the debugging, everything is ABAP based.
Yeah.
So we don't need to learn anything technical.
Technical nothing required. Nothing required from technical aspect.
For your the front end tool also, do you need to know anything technical in front end tool?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Let's move ahead. So before we move to fixed assets or asset accounting, what idea you guys have about asset accounting? What thoughts you have about SAP asset accounting? Any ideas?
So basically, the asset accounting, so companies' assets, right, like machineries, the cars, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Buildings, real estate.
Yeah. So, as you mentioned, asset accounting is basically to manage your own asset, what company owns, in terms of fixed asset like machinery, building, or vehicles, or any production machinery, whatever physical asset they have, even non-physical asset they have, same for everything, like patent, copyright, or goodwill. So for SAP, everything is same. They have this asset. So asset accounting is a sub-ledger in SAP where you can manage your asset, all your fixed assets, and it's integrated to GL like AP and AR for reconciliation account. But only difference with other sub-ledgers and asset accounting is that in asset accounting you have multiple valuations. You have multiple legal foundations for each country. For example, if you are purchasing in US, if the value of the purchase is less than 5,000 USD, it cannot be classified as asset. That's US GAAP rule. But if you are purchasing in India, value above 5,000 will be 5,000 rupees will be classified as asset. So there is a threshold for each country, and each country have a different rules. Sometimes, some countries say if there is any tax on the invoice, it has to be capitalized in this country. Some countries say we will not allow the capitalization of tax. So every country have a different rules, and every country have a different valuation. So that's a key area. And apart from that, there are some limitations within SAP from technical aspects. So we will see those, once we move.
Hi Nitin, can you please talk a bit loudly? It's not audible.
Give me a second. Let me see what is the issue.
Later, last class you adjusted the mic. That's where the problem. This is speakers, sir.
Hold on. Is that okay now?
Yeah, Nitin, yeah.
Okay. So moving to asset accounting. Asset accounting is a subsidiary ledger of financial accounting. The appropriate GL accounts are updated each time you post. So from GL perspective and from sub-ledger perspective, they both get reconciled in the real time, and you cannot post directly to the fixed asset GL. Like, other sub-ledgers, you cannot post directly to the GL which you have with a reconciliation account. So any posting to the general ledger for recon account has to go through sub-ledger. That applies to asset also. So if you see in this example, if I purchase something on asset account on the sub-ledger at the bottom level, then it goes to GL. And then I credit my vendor and it goes to GL. So below both are sub-ledgers. One is asset sub-ledger, one is AP sub-ledger. And on the top, both are general ledger. So that's how sub-ledger and GL are linked. Asset class. So what happened in each company, in different ERP, other ERPs also, it's the same logic. In Oracle, we call it asset categories, main category and subcategory. In SAP, we call it asset classes. So what happened is we group the asset class, or you can say we group the similar kind of assets. Let's say we create asset class machinery, or we create the asset class computer and equipment. So what will happen is each individual asset will belong to one or the other asset class. So if I have computer and equipment as asset class, all my computer and equipment related assets will fall under that asset class. And asset class is linked to the GL. So it's not directly that every asset is linked to the GL. So what happens is every asset is created under asset class, and asset class is behind the scene linked to GL account. And you can have screen variants for assets, based on the asset class. Like if you are creating an asset if it is building, you can say, I don't need this model number and serial number on the asset master data. You can hide that. But if it is a laptop or computer equipment or machinery, you can say, I need the mandatory field in asset master data, which should have the model number and the serial number, because I want to track this, because every asset has that, like laptops and all equipment have model number and serial number. So based on asset class, you can change the screens in the system in asset master data, and asset class help you to link to the general ledger. But the clear message is every asset in system has to fall under one or the other asset class, and it cannot fall under two. So any asset can fall under one asset class, and you can have n number of asset class as you want. There is no limitation of creation of asset class. You can have as many as you want. Any questions on asset class? So if you see in this example, we have asset class, building, vehicle, or AUC or fixture fitting. Below, under that, we have a lot of assets. If building might be, we can have multiple buildings, we can have multiple vehicles, we have multiple fixtures and fittings. And that asset class is linking to the general ledger. So that's how the link goes. It's not that each asset is linked to the GL. Asset class is linked to the GL. Any question?
So if you have like 5 buildings, that all the 5 buildings will be under that asset class building,
Yes.
and that will be linked to the GL.
Yes.
Okay. So how do you? So you still track each building separately?
Yes. So from sub-ledger perspective, each building will be tracked separately. Each building can have its own depreciation, different method, different rules, everything different. But from GL perspective, all your costs will go to one GL, because those all fall under one asset class. Every building will have its own master data. Everything setup will be different for 5 buildings. But from GL perspective and from tracking perspective, all will fall under one asset class.
For example, there is vehicles. There is a maintenance for the vehicles. How that will be taken care? Is it goes into asset or some different code?
You are saying maintenance of the vehicle?
Yeah.
So what happens is, you can create a vehicle. Let's say you create a car in system. SAP will generate an asset number, let's say 123, and the cost is $1,000. You bought a car for $1,000, and asset number is 123. Now, if you want to capitalize the maintenance, so maintenance is normally not capitalized. Number one, even if you want to capitalize it, you can book the invoice on the asset number 123, and it will keep on adding the cost on the same asset.
Then the vehicle will be considered as a depreciation, or it is how the cost will be taken into consideration. Does it go to same asset class and to the GL account?
Yes. So from cost perspective, it will go to the same GL account. Let's say, let me give you an example. Okay. So we have vehicles asset class. Now I created car. Then we say truck, and then we have right. We have 3 vehicles, and the GL account link is now. When I bought this car, the cost is $1,000. When I bought this truck, the cost is $3,000. When I bought this other vehicle, the cost is this much. So when I see my GL account, I'll see this value. It will give me the total. When I see my individual asset, it will have every individual have its own value. This is cost. Now comes depreciation. So I can have 10% depreciation, I can have 20% depreciation, and I can have 15% depreciation. So then it comes to other master data. Like cost center or any other master data. It can be different. It can be different for each of the assets. So if you see at the GL level, what is my value of the asset, you will see $10,000. Now to see the breakup of the $10,000, you have to come to your asset module and you will see different values. Depreciation, because you want different depreciation, so you can have different depreciation on different assets. Now comes the maintenance. Spelling might be wrong, so please ignore. So let's say you added $20 cost for the maintenance here. There was no maintenance here. There was $30 here. What is the total maintenance? $50 is the maintenance cost. Now, your logic, your rule, or whatever your company policy says, you cannot capitalize this maintenance because this is only service. You just did the service. But you can capitalize this maintenance because you purchase some parts also, the machine part or the car part, and those can be capitalized. And this happens, let's say the cost is in, so we are in 2013 here, then we charge some depreciation and cost in 2015 is, let's say, $800, right? Whatever, 1800. Why to put in that? And let's say this is my cost, my value today after depreciation in 2 years. Now I have to, this maintenance is expense on P&L. Now company says you can capitalize this. What will happen is when you capitalize this particular maintenance charges or whatever, you added some part, so your cost would be, what's the new cost? So your new cost would be this. For this it would be this. This it would be this. This is your net book value. Cost would be initial purchase. Then you charge some depreciation for 2 years. Your current net book value is this. Then you added some maintenance cost, and the cost which you capitalize, this one you will add it to NBV. So now your value changes here, and your depreciation will be charged now on this new value 4230. Is that clear?
Yes, Nitin. Agree.
Any question on this example?
So, Nitin, we're doing the example for depreciation. What is an asset if it gets appreciated?
Sorry?
If you have asset that will appreciate in the value, right? That could happen also, right?
Right.
So how are your books affected?
So it will increase. So let's say this asset increase. So here you have the key will say addition. Here I decline. It will increase. So it might, let's say this is amortization, or your you can say so normally only intangible assets normally have increased. So let's say if it increase, it will be 1200. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Any other question from this understanding perspective how this works? Asset class. So this makes clear how asset class works, right?
One more on this one. If sometimes after 2 years, if it is a land or something, it appreciates, right?
Right.
If the company sells that land, is there possibility how to account those things? Now, for example, car. So, like after 2 years, they sell the car or something. So that will become an income kind of thing.
So SAP provides multiple ways. Sometimes it is just a scrap with zero value. Sometimes it is with value. So SAP gives you option what option you want. It says no revenue, it says revenue. It says manual revenue. So if it is no revenue, it will just zero it out. If it is with revenue, it will ask you what is that you realize. If there was a car of $10,000, you sell it for $1,000, you have to give system that I sell it for $1,000. So based on all depreciation and all previous calculation, system will calculate the gain or loss. For example, if you have the car for $10,000, you charge the depreciation of $8,000 and you sell it in for $4,000. So what is the summary? You have 10,000, you have net book value of 2,000, but when you sell system, that hey, I sold it for 4,000. The car which actual value was 2,000, you sell it for 4,000. The system will say, you have a profit of this minus this. You have the profit of 2,000. The system will book the gain and loss. If it is the case of reverse, if it is 1,000, then the system will book the loss. So based on your requirement, system will post accordingly. So all accounting SAP does, you just have to run the transactions for fixed assets. You just have to run the transaction. You need not to give any GL account at the front end. You need not to give any other thing at the front end. You just have to give the asset number, and you have to use the right transaction. SAP do all the accounting, so it calls all the GL from the background. There is no GL at the front end. all intercompany transfer, intracompany transfer, sale, scrap, retirement, whatever you do, SAP calls the GL from the behind the scenes. There is no option to put details on the front end. On the front end, you can just put, hey, I want to retire this asset, only asset number, let's say this one, and that's all. Now system will do all those calculations, what is my current net book value, which is 1200, how much you are selling, you have to tell system 1000 or 2000, and then based on that, system will calculate gain or loss. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 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 Coming back. You can have examples like land, building, plant, machinery, AUC, and you can configure it based on your requirement. You can have whatever number you have. So as I mentioned, screen layouts can be changed according to asset class. Number of the number sequence can be changed according to asset class. So you can say all my vehicles will start from number 1. All my computer equipment will start from number 2. All those things, you can determine according to asset class. So give me a second. I just have a quick call. Hello? Okay. So any questions on asset class? So AJ, you have worked on fixed assets before?
Hey, Nitin, yes, I have worked on fixed assets. Yeah.
Okay. This we just talked about, functions of asset class. Okay. So depreciation. So there are three types of depreciation basically, ordinary depreciation, special and unplanned. Ordinary is like, we normal have 20% on the asset per year, whatever rate we have. Planned reduction in asset value. Unplanned is something, which unusual happens. Person is going in a car and there is an accident and the car is, damaged very, very badly. So that's, kind of unplanned depreciation. You have to reduce the value. And another one is special depreciation, which is solely based on the tax regulation. This is only for tax purposes. So tax classifies, different assets that we will charge this much depreciation. So all those are tax laws. So those that falls under special depreciation. Depreciation area. So this is very important. So how should I say? So it's like, let's take an example. Okay. So this is depreciation area and this is my name. So when I say name, US GAAP currency. There are a few more. I'll explain you, give me a moment. So normally standard SAP provide these numbers. When we, what happens is when we start configuration, so a standard SAP provide each country's chart of depreciation. This is standard SAP. So for every country there is a pre-configured chart of depreciation. So when we copy that chart of depreciation will have the list of depreciation areas applicable for that country. And every country have its own logic. So 01 is US GAAP local currency. Then in 32, SAP convert the same into group currency. N and 19 are US tax. There is one more for US tax. I think 18 or something. It's US tax. ENP, makers, acres, all those comes under this. Then we have 36 local GAAP local currency. Then we have 52 local GAAP group currency. Then we have 15, 16 specific to countries like Singapore tax, Malaysia tax, India income tax. All those are 15, 16 for each country. So there is a standard chart of depreciation provided by SAP. We just use the reference. That's what it says here. Area 01 book depreciation, then area, it's an example. So you will have all those depreciation areas applicable for the country which you are working for. So in every country this number changes. Number, when I say, the count changes. Some might have 10 depreciation. US have 10 depreciation areas. Italy have 7 depreciation areas. France have 8. So every country have its own, tax and all those laws. So you see, 1 local reporting, book 32. So all those are depreciation areas based on which what happens is when you do the transaction in asset accounting, you can have transaction at area level. You can say system that I want to retire this asset only at this area. So I want to purchase the asset only at this area. I don't want the value at local GAAP or the US GAAP because this is my only one GAAP asset. The system allows you to do that, and you can have area specific accounting. Any question? Any question, anybody? I can see Ivan is there today.
Yeah, I'm here. Hey.
You were not there in previous classes, right? I think.
Yeah, I had to travel.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm back. Actually, I'm doing an SAP project implementation right now.
Okay. So any questions, anybody on this? Muhammad, Kiran? Any question, any doubts on depreciation area?
Would you, in your experience, what are the depreciation areas that you have seen here in the U.S.? It's basically 01, the U.S. tax depreciation, and sometimes if you're doing consolidation or IFRS or other gaps is when you add those depreciation areas, right?
Right. So I recently worked for a US client, and they have 10 depreciation areas. Out of those, 2 are IFRS, 2 are gaps, and rest are tax. ENP, makers, acres, and other tax. So there are 10 depreciation areas for you guys.
Okay.
So these depreciation areas, are they assigned to the ledgers individually, or like with Simple Finance, is it only 01 which posts to general ledger, or can you have a ledger specific depreciation area?
Very good question. I was expecting that. Okay. This is the color combination that will help you to. So this is I have 2 ledger groups, UL and GL. So my ledger groups get, it's not one-to-one relationship. My one ledger group will have multiple areas. All those falling under US will belong to reading ledger based on, let's say, assuming I'm a US company, and based on, and GL is my local ledger, or my, you can say, whatever ledger. So it would be this. Now, there comes the concept of appendix ledger. If I go with this concept and assuming this block is having a fiscal year which is different from this block, new asset accounting does not allow to post any transaction here. That's a limitation. Let's say it is 1st January to 31st December fiscal year, but this fiscal year is 1st April to 30th, 31st, whatever. Now, standard SAP will not allow to post anything here. I cannot post anything here. As I mentioned, even my report doesn't work for this. It's an issue in ESP7, but reporting issue is resolved in Simple Finance, number one. Number two, posting of transaction. What SAP says is, we have 3 ledgers. What are those 3 ledgers? So my screen is full. 0L, GL, you create one more A1. It is leading, it is non-leading, appendix. Right? So now SAP says make a ledger group, and ledger group would be 0L leading, ZL plus A1 would be non-leading. So if I want to do transactions here, this is ledger. So what I have to do is, I have to make it, let's say I gave it a name ZFA, something like that. The combination of these two. So here I should have ZFA. Then SAP will allow the transaction. This is standard SAP ESP7 and new Simple Finance functionality. So what happened is, here is a twist. A1 is the copy of 0L. So here my fiscal year is this. Okay. So this is the twist. So let me hide this, all this. Shall I remove this upper part? Let me hide it. Okay. So what is the law of appendix ledger? If you remember my previous session for Simple Finance, appendix ledger will be the copy of leading ledger. Everything will be same in appendix ledger as of leading ledger, only the period closing will be different. SAP says you can open and close the period for appendix ledger with different time, but your leading ledger and appendix ledger should be same in terms of configuration. Your appendix ledger should be, your dates and everything should be same, like this. What happened is, in ZS8, we make the combination of this plus this. And when we post to ZFA, it's non-leading ledger and system recognizes that it's a local gap. I recently implemented asset accounting and we were unable to post anything to this GL in new asset accounting EHP7. I was not in simple financing EHP7. So then we raised it to SAP. Then SAP gave a note and they said, do this tweaking, create an additional ledger and then make a combination of ledgers, and then you assign this to depreciation areas which are non-leading ledgers. We did this, first we did a POC and it worked. System allowed to post the transaction.
And basically, the intention for you to do that is because you want to have an actual posting into the non-leading ledger ZFA, right?
Absolutely.
You want to reflect that the actual posting of the depreciation or the tax or whatever you want to post.
Yeah.
Okay. Because otherwise, the SAP standard just let you post using depreciation area 01.
Right.
Okay, makes sense.
Right.
But that was just a unique request for this company, right? That you were working with.
No, it was not unique. What happened is, at that point, EHP7 was new, and there were very few implementations for EHP7. So what happened was, even today, I have, I sent out a bug to SAP for EHP7, and SAP worked very closely on this fixed asset with me. So it was not a unique requirement. It is a very normal requirement. When a company is a global one, they will have different fiscal years for some of the countries. If it is US headquartered company, it will have different fiscal year in Mexico, different in Brazil, different in India, different in China. So for those countries, SAP was not aligned to post any transaction in those countries. So we can have, in my case, it was January to December for US, and for India, it was April to March. China was 1st July to 30th June. So it was not aligned anything for those countries. We cannot have a system set up where, system does not allow posting for one country. So that's why we raised it to SAP. Then SAP takes some time. They took around 2 weeks to get this resolved. Even they sent it to the development team in Germany. Then after that, they sent a new note, which I have heard the note number. They actually created a new note for this and sent out the solution to us. From that perspective, they include appendix ledger in EHP7 also. If it is ZL, now I cannot post anything to this. Now if I am in China and I want to post something in CN00, I cannot post even a single transaction for fixed asset. I cannot even create asset here. So what's the use of using SAP when I cannot post note to my book? So that's why they gave the solution. The solution works somehow. It was a workaround, or you can say the actual technical solution, but it works.
Nitin, so you have like book 01, 32, 10, and 19 mapped to ledger group 0L.
Yes.
But is it not true that you can post only one depreciation area to one ledger?
Sorry, say that again.
So let's say 0L is the leading ledger, so you can post only one depreciation area, right? You cannot post both 01, 32, 10, and 19.
No, it is up to business requirement. So if in any asset transaction I specify ledger group plus depreciation area, it will only post to that. If I say so there are multiple combinations. So SAP gives an option of, let's say, transaction, and then it says ledger group, and then it says dep area. Now, if I leave it blank, everything blank like this, it will post to all, leading, non-leading, everything. If I say 0L, it will post to all under 0L. If I say 0L and 01, so it will post to 0, 01 and 32. It will not touch the tag. So that's how it works.
Okay, so the user has to be very careful on
Yes.
his selection.
Ensure that you have to understand what transaction the user is trying to do. If it is tax only asset, tax only. If it is only tax only adjustment, for example, tax team is doing, so they will simply say 0L and then they will say 10. That's all. So it will not touch the gap. It will hit the tag.
So so in that example where you have it written, like the first entry is 0L and 01, so we post one depreciation.
Yes.
Can we post again, like what you've written, 0L and 10 again on the same asset?
Yes, you can.
Will that not be double counted in 0L ledger? Then we are depreciated on 01 and now we're depreciating on 10 also.
No, that's fine. So sometimes what happens is if you leave it blank, it will post to all. So if I say 0L, it will post to all 4. But now if let's say sometimes there is a requirement I have to post adjustment of $100 here, and for tax it's only $80. So I can do that. I will post 100 here and 80 here. So on ledger group it will not impact because I'm using my depreciation area.
But there will be only one accounting document. I mean, one posting, right? Only coming from the 01.
Yeah.
That's just a point that we need to clarify.
Because tax doesn't post to GL. So even if they do that,
exactly.
it will not post to GL.
So the book number 10 and 19 will not post to 0L, you mean? Or 38?
On GL.
To GL.
Yeah. SAP tax area, any tax areas, even 15, 16 or any tax area doesn't post to GL.
Okay.
Right. So this is one part. Another functionality which SAP introduced with new asset accounting is I can have different GL account for different areas.
Before you move on, so you gave example, your leading ledger, right, with 01, you have your depreciation area, right? Why it's going to post to 1 and 32 here?
Okay. So 1 and 32 are replica. You cannot post separately because it's a currency conversion. You see, it's local currency and group currency. So systems will say 100 Canadian dollar and it will convert into USD based on the exchange rate and it will post it automatically itself. Otherwise, if user is not inputting anything, it will be a mismatch in the transaction. So what we have in system, it says 32 will be the copy of 01 basically, and considering the exchange rate into consideration. Same is for 36 and 52. You post it to 36, system will post to 52 also because it's again currency conversion. So these 4 areas are work like this. You post to 1, it will post to 32 as well. You post to 36, it will post to 52 as well.
No, on 15.
Okay.
Okay. Now, in ESP 7, which is, when I say ESP 7, it's new asset accounting applicable for simple finance. So, in this version, SAP introduced a new concept that you can have your account, GL account based on a gap level. When you purchase an asset, you can have, let's say, when you purchase at 01 and 36, let's say I purchase an asset and it gets capitalized at all the gap. Right? Now, I want, for US gap, it should hit my GL 17, let's say 00, but for local gap, it should hit my whatever, 8900. It was not there previously. In new asset accounting, they introduced that you can say, at this gap, use my this GL, at this gap, use my this GL. So the moment invoice is booked on the asset, it will hit, for 01 it will hit this GL, and for 36 it will hit this GL. And asset number will be same. Got it? So this is the new functionality. You can have multiple GL accounts for the gap. Any questions? So I hope you are clear with depreciation area, chart of depreciation. So creating an asset master record. When we create an asset, you can create directly based on asset class, or we can use the reference and copy from the existing asset. Transfer. This is the one, asset accounting. So just go through this paragraph quickly. This is the one I just explained. So till now, what was happening is, only one area was posting to GL 01. So you cannot have multiple GL accounts, for area 1 and area 36. That's what it says. Prior to new asset accounting, to manage parallel valuation, one has to use delta depreciation areas as only one depreciation area 01 could post to GL in the real time. With this functionality, new one, you can have multiple GL, use 36 can also post to GL if you want to use different GL. In SAP note this, SAP recommends activation of new asset accounting for new customers. So now almost all new customers are going with ESP 7. You can read this note, you can download and read this note. Any questions? No questions? You should ask questions. So Ivan, you are implementing assets, or which module you are implementing?
Yeah, I'm gonna be implementing assets.
Okay.
But they don't have other kind of legal requirements or the needs of parallel ledgers.
Okay.
It's just gonna be one, the US.
So you are implementing new asset accounting or in classic?
Yes, I'm gonna implement the new asset accounting.
Okay.
But my only question is, at what extent I need to implement new GL, you know, so that's what I'm still debating.
Well, what does that mean?
Yeah, like if I should implement the entire functionality for new general ledger, like document splitting and some other functionalities,
So,
or just keep it basic.
so even if you want to use new asset accounting, document splitting, or all those functionalities are optional. So the basic new GL should be working in the system, like ledger groups and all those things. Document splitting and all those things can be activated later. At this time, you can hold it on if you don't like.
Okay. Okay.
I also did the same thing last year, where I implemented a new asset accounting. I did new GL as well migration. So we haven't yet implemented the document splitting, a lot of things. Those are still on hold, so we will do it later once system stabilizes with the existing system. The system needs the basic needs here. Okay. With the new solution, it is now possible to post actual values to different depreciation areas in real time. That's what we just discussed. This is the new functionality. If you have two ledgers in your company code, leading and non-leading, there must be two depreciation areas that post in real time. So your 1 and 36 should post real time. Your 32 and 52 should be configured in a way that it should accept values from 1 and 36 respectively. Like we just mentioned, in the example, there was a question why 32 is posting. So there is a setting in SAP where you say determine values from. So for 32 determine from 1, for 52 determine from 36. So there is a setting in SAP. So Ivan, you might need to do this setting, right?
Can you say that again, please?
So determination of values for depreciation areas. So SAP asks you, or let's say I have 1 and 32, 36 and 52. So this will post to real time. This will post in
Correct.
real time. Now this will determine values from 1, and this will determine from
36.
Yeah. So there is a configuration setting in SAP where you can say system determine from this.
Correct.
And even for tax, what you can do is you can say determine from 1. You can give health access to system. So it's based on the requirement. For tax, what you want to do. For GAAP, what you want to do. Based on different requirements, different options are available in SAP.
Okay. Thanks.
Nathan, so point number 2, if you expand it to, let's say, in this presentation.
Okay.
So it says, example, if you have 2 ledgers for your company code, then there must be 2 depreciation areas. So let's say if I have 4 ledgers, then does it mean that I have to have 4 depreciation areas for that company?
No. Then why will you have 4 ledgers? That's the question number 1.
I mean, like, at the current client I am in, we have like 6 parallel ledgers or SPL. So,
but leading would be 1, right?
the leading was only 1, yeah.
And for each company code, non-leading would also be 1.
Non-leading, there's like several. We have profit center-based ledger derivation. So,
okay. So in that case, you need not to have multiple. Here, it's only leading and non-leading that 1 will be leading and a 36 will be non-leading. That's what it is.
okay.
Okay. So this is the perquisite, this is the new business function added to the bucket. That day if you remember, we activated some business functions. So it's the same process. There are two business functions which needs to be activated: EFN financial extension, and another one is FIAA parallel underscore valuation. So this is the business function we have to activate, and this will switch on the new asset accounting. Limitation is once you switch it on, it cannot be switched back. So anybody, if you try any of your projects, please ensure you are well aware before you activate this. You cannot switch it back. And this is for this new asset accounting.
You mean, because I cannot see it very well, you mean the financials extension? Is that the one?
No, below. FIAA parallel valuation. You cannot switch this back.
Yeah, but for example, in my case, if I don't need to have parallel valuation, I don't need to activate this functionality, right?
No. If you need,
but
no. This one is if you want to implement new asset accounting, you have to activate this. That's mandatory.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Even if you don't want parallel valuation, you have to switch it on the business function.
Interesting. So what will be the effect in I will have two layers even though I don't need them, is what you're saying, once I activate this functionality?
So it activates, since you don't have multiple ledgers, it will activate some functionalities in the background at program level. It will not impact you, on the front end. Those companies who have multiple layers, it impacts us on the front end also. But since this is you can say the prerequisite of using ESP7 or the new asset accounting, that this business function has to be activated. There are some notes on this. You can read those notes.
And if I'm in in version 7, can I use the classic asset accounting instead of activating the new?
You can.
Or is mandatory now to use the new?
No. In ESP7, SAP gives you option whether you want to use classic or new asset accounting. But recommended is use new so that in future if you migrate to Simple Finance, you can leverage that functionality. Because
I would check the note that you just mentioned. I'll take a look. Because the system will be ready, the dev system, in a couple of weeks, so I have time to review.
Okay. Activate a new asset accounting. The new asset accounting preparation, check prerequisites, and then you activate. So this is a button where the menu and you activate new asset accounting. So this is for ESP7 only. For Simple Finance, by default, it's new asset accounting. You cannot use classic asset accounting with Simple Finance. Technical clearing account. So this is an interesting thing which is being added now. Just go through these two paragraphs, and then I'll explain you. This is a very interesting thing added. Got the concept? Technical clearing account. So SAP has added this step, in the configuration as well as in the functionality. It added a technical clearing account. Now, what does this account do? We just discussed the functionality of, that I can, if you go to this Excel file, this one, I can post to different GL account at area 1 and I can post to different GL account at area 36. This gets facilitated by this technical clearing account functionality. So we will see this, I'll give you an example in the next slide, how this helps. So the technical mandatory thing is the technical clearing account must be the reconciliation account and it cannot be used in any of the account determination.
I guess there might be a clear path where we need to assign this account, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We are coming to
because
that.
Yeah, okay, good.
So this is required from technical purposes only, and the balance of this account always has to be 0. It automatically makes it 0. It's the same transaction. It makes debit, it makes credit, and it's a recon account, cannot be used anywhere else. I can show you the path as well. So this is where you just assign. You say you just have to give chart of account and the GL account number. That's all. Only one setting. There is no additional setting. You just say this is my technical clearing account. Now what will it do? This is the document entry you do. So if you see that my entry, debit, asset and credit vendor, right? That's what we do normally. Right? That's what we do.
Correct. Yes.
We purchase asset, we credit vendor. Now what system do? System do like this. System says, initially it says debit, asset, credit, vendor. Then for IFRS, for LGAP, you can have different asset accounts. Try to understand this table, otherwise I'll explain in Excel. Just read this. It's technical, but try to understand this. So the one who understood will explain to the entire team. Mohammed, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
I didn't heard from long time. I thought you're busy. You're following, right?
I'm following this. Yes.
Okay. Who got this concept of technical clearing account with this example? Ivan, you got the concept?
Understand. I'm just looking at the technical account 999. But I have one debit and two credits, and each credit goes to different group ledger. So it's not balanced, I guess. Right now, that technical account is not 0.
Okay. Any other thoughts, Kiran?
Could you just go back to the previous slide?
So this one.
Okay. Yeah. So we just post directly to the technical clearing account or to the asset master or asset number itself?
Asset number.
So, okay. Okay, then if we could.
Yeah. Let me explain it. Let's come to Excel. This is any easy. Let's go to the we have 0L and sorry, not 0L. We have 01 and 36, right? Let's assume, not getting too much complex, IFRS and all. So this is my area. This is my GL to 4. Now my GL here is right. I have an asset number. $10,000. So you can put this number, and my technical clearing account is now. This is my, assuming this is my system setup, and then let's take an example of vendor. My vendor is right now. I created an asset. This one, all this data exists in the system. Now my requirement is I did an invoice on the asset. So I am not using the keys, otherwise it will not be clear. Then we will refer what is debit, what is credit. I'm simple writing debit and credit, so I will do so you have to refer this from this, and it says USD, and then it says, right. This is the entry I would do.
Correct.
Now what system do is, this is the entry user will post or AP will post in the invoice. Now what system do is, now this is system. System will debit with this. System will credit with this. System will debit with this. System will credit hold on. Okay, now still not complete. We are in the midway. Okay, this picture is clear. Yes, no?
No.
Okay, hold on.
But so basically what you're saying is making a double posting to the vendor account,
No. There is a
because at the bottom you have a credit to again to the vendor. Maybe it's just not the right number.
I'll explain. It's not double. Okay. Now the picture is. So what I did in AP is I debit my asset, I credit my vendor, right? Simple. This is clear? This part?
Yes.
Perfect. Now when I post this, what system is doing is, now I am asking system that my both the areas post. For 01 I need different GL, for 36 I need different GL. So what system will do is, system will post these two entries.
Oh, I see.
So for area 1 system will post to this GL, for area 2 system will post to this GL, for area not 2, 36.
And for that make it 0
yes,
in the technical account,
yes,
but it's just leaving
yes,
the actual posting in 01.
Yes.
Yeah, I see. Okay, makes sense.
Right,
I
and
got
you
it.
see vendor is only credited at once, vendor is not credited twice. It is just a
Yeah,
view,
it's just,
different
yeah,
view.
exactly different view. Got it.
So this is the logic of technical clearing account.
Hey, Nathan, this is AJ. So the ledger, can you also mention the ledger in these postings? Is it all in the same ledger, or is it different ledgers?
So this is, so okay, so here we can say 0L, here we can say 0. So this is at 0L. This is the
What about the last entry, Nathan?
last entry. Where it will go, tell me.
That's what I'm not able to figure out. Like with the accounting entries we have, we still have a credit balance of 900,000 GL.
Where is the credit now? Tell me.
Okay, now it's good. Yeah.
Clear?
So each ledger will get two postings then.
Which one?
Each ledger will get two documents.
Yes.
One for the invoice itself and one for kind of the capitalization of the asset.
Yes. So when you do this transaction in system and when you go to the document list, you will see the long list. You will see ledger specific document, you will see clearing document, and you will multiple documents will be visible.
So what will be will it be the same document type for the asset to the technical clearing account and the invoice, or will it be different?
It depends. So for invoice it would be RE.
Mm-hmm.
It would be RE, but for others like this one, it depends. I think it is AA. You have to check the standard setting, but it is changeable. We can change it. Normally it is AA, asset document.
Okay. And since it's a reconciliation account, will this account have to be cleared like the 900,000?
It is automatically cleared.
It will automatically get cleared. Okay. But how will it get cleared? Okay, yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Right. So this is a new concept. Introduced in ESP 7. So this will be continued in Simple Finance. That's why I just explain in detail with example, because this will be continued in Simple Finance. So anybody can ask how technical clearing account works. So this is the functionality of technical clearing account. If you need, you can take the screenshot and you can save it somewhere if you need.
Hey, Nathan, so it is, I guess what I'm not getting here is that how is the technical clearing account helping I mean, they could have simply posted a debit to the asset and a credit to the AP in both the ledgers. So that means basically two different entries.
But behind the scenes, for one asset, in standard in normal classic accounting, you can call only one GL account. But here you are calling two GL accounts for one asset. You see, that's why technical clearing account is coming into picture. You are calling two accounts at the same time. For one area you are putting debit in one, and for other area you are putting debit in another.
Right. So basically what I'm saying is like, I mean, two accounting entries. So one to the leading and the other to the non-leading. In the leading you post it to one asset account. So, but in the non-leading you post it to the other asset account.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm not clear. Like, I mean, why are they using this technical clearing account?
So that they are using this technical clearing account to break the entry into two. That's the only purpose. Ultimately, it gets out zero. There is, if you see, if I agree with you, if I see on the screen that I don't see any need of using technical clearing account, but to break this entry into two parts, because I'm using multiple GLs at multiple areas, that's why they have given this technical clearing account. Right? So this is technical clearing account and will be continued in Simple Finance. And it is not going to change for next so many years, because asset accounting I don't know when it will change, because classic asset accounting will continue from last so many years, and they have changed it now.
Nitin, that last one is two separate entries, right? 0L plus ZL.
It's one entry going to both ledgers.
Okay, but if it is one entry, that I'm still not getting, because that 9 series account is not balancing, right? I'm not getting here. Because in the above two entries you have a credit for 57,474 both, and here we have debit for only 57,474, right? So still there is a credit of 57,474 excess.
Okay, you are saying here is the credit, but we have debit one, right? That's what you are saying?
Right.
Any thoughts from anybody on J. Kiran's point?
The debit exists both, I mean, as one line item in 0L and one line item in ZL. So
absolutely.
In the parallel layer is 0, and then you have the credit in the leading layer, which is right. I understand, because you need to have the credit for leading layer 0L. But yeah, I mean, it may read wrong. As you said, it should be balanced to 0, right? But it is balanced to 0 in both layers?
Yes, so if you see, at 0L I have this balance, at ZL I have this balance, but I credit 0L with this balance, then I debit 0L with this balance. So here I am using both the ledger, that's why it would be balanced. So you need not to run the report. If you run the report at area level or at 0L and ZL level, or at both, it would be balanced, because credited 0L, debited 0L, credited ZL, credited ZL.
So at the report level, you're saying it will be 0?
Yes, it would be.
Okay.
Because second entry I am putting at both the areas, and first two entries are at different ledger group, and the second entry, third entry is at both the ledger group together.
Okay, okay, it is more or less like 2 entries only, right? I mean.
Yes, it is more or less two entries going together in the same two different ways.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Any questions on this area? Let me recap so that if you feel anything is there. So we discussed about asset accounting, subledger, asset class, how asset class is linked to GL and asset master. Then we have uses of asset class, depreciation types, ordinary, special, unplanned. Depreciation areas, chart of depreciation. We just saw that with an example. ESP 7 functionalities. There is a note. You guys can go through this note. This is a prerequisite note. 1776828. And with this functionality, we can post to 2 different areas in the real time. That's what we just did. We have to activate business functions, activate new asset accounting applicable for ESP 7, for simple finance, no classic, only new, so we don't have choice. Currently, as Ivan mentioned, he has choice, the project he's working, he has choice that, we can go for classic or new based on company requirements. But the moment you move to simple finance, you don't have choice. You have to have one new one. Technical clearing account, we just saw. So again, this the second point should be clear now. The clearing must be a recon account, and it cannot be used for any account intervention. You cannot post anything to technical clearing account. That's for sure. This is an extra account. Basically, you can say that you need to request from the master data or the central team who manage the chart of account. Every company have that. Just to give an example, when we requested this account, I did the ESP 7.1 implementation. Then we requested there was a central team to manage the chart of account, to create the list, and then another team, create that in SAP. So there were 2 different teams. So the process was we first have to request from one team to update the list, the Excel on the common folder, and then another team create. So there was a lot of questions why you need this account, because that team really wants that the number should not go too much. It is difficult to manage if we have more accounts in the chart of account. So they have a lot of questions, where this will roll up, where this will go with this and that. So this is, you can say, kind of extra account you need actually in the system, which is actually of, if you see at the front end, it's of no use for this. So, but still we need that. That's a technical requirement. This is where you put technical clearing account. And that's how we saw the functionality of technical clearing account. Any questions overall?
When are we planning to go in the system, Nitin?
The next session we will go into system and we'll start working. So before the objective of today's session was before we move into migration, I just want to ensure that everybody is on the same page from asset perspective, because this is a complex area.
Okay.
So this is from understanding perspective, this is complex. Asset works in a different way. So the target is from next session we will start directly in the system, and we will continue as we stopped last time, from the migration area. We will continue with that. There is another thing, asset value date. I don't know how many of you are aware what is asset value date. Is anybody aware of what is asset value date? So from there. answers? What is asset value date? It is used in every transaction. If you go to any asset accounting transaction, you will see asset value date. No answer? One,
Can you repeat the question?
asset value date.
Asset value date? Sorry.
Okay, So another change is in front of every fixed asset transaction, SAP will introduce L. So ABA, VL, it's still not working. New transaction, they say. Okay. So see, in this system, the one we have, new asset accounting is not yet activated. So what system is saying is your system is being switched to SAP accounting powered by HANA. Only new asset accounting is available there. You might have to migrate from classic to new or complete migration of asset accounting. Only then it is possible for you to post in asset accounting. The following applies to customer. The procedure is activate new asset accounting and then check prerequisite and then prepare all these things. So here SAP will not allow for classic account. We will do this activity. We will do this activation and all that.
But is there any change in the asset value date? Is what you're trying to say, or?
No. That was a separate question. I just opened.
Oh, okay.
This one. So asset value date is something, let's say I purchase an asset today. My posting date is, let's say, Jan 25th. And then what I will do is I'll say that I want to start depreciation from.
It's the day when you start the capitalization of your assets, right?
Right. So even if I do any scrap and I say I'm scrapping it today on January 25th, but I want to scrap it with the asset value date of 1st January. So what will happen is system will calculate the scrap details from 1st January, not from 25th January. So 25th January. So 25th is just a posting date. It will hit the GL in 25th. And if I even give 1st December, the GL counting, GL will hit on 25th January, but your depreciation schedule and everything will hit from 1st December because I have set system that my scrap is applied from 1st December. So that's asset value date. It calculates all those things. So if you see the existing ESP7 system, you will see two nodes here, asset accounting and asset accounting new. But since this is an HANA system, it's only new. So this is the one, technical clearing account I just mentioned. Ivan, you were looking for this menu, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So here you have technical clearing account. You can go and enter sort of account and account number.
Are you the one who is configuring this environment? Or there is someone else working on this environment?
I think it's only our team who is working on this environment.
Okay.
Yeah. As of now, there is no other team. So since AJ mentioned there is another batch starting, he said, from weekend. So probably then those people other team will start working in this system. So, but as of now, it's only our team who is doing this. So for the issue, you remember we last time faced an issue on the currency thing. FinFC ledger. I have sent an email to the team, to the basis team, and they are looking for those installations and all. What they did, they are still working on that. I have sent an email to them to check that error. I have given all the screenshots and error details. So we stopped here, preparation for migration. We completed this node, GL. We will start with this. So it is still in preparation, new asset accounting. So you have to, I hope it will not be there. Okay, it is coming. So your new asset accounting is active now. I think if I go now, it will not give me an error. Yes. You see the difference? Previously it gave me an error. So for asset accounting is not active for any company code, that's why it is showing no error. But this time the transaction worked. It is not giving the error, that asset accounting is not active. It is asking for the company code. So I'll try to do some configuration for one company code. I don't know if you guys want to do it offline, or you want to do it in the session.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, because I want to set up at least one company code for asset accounting, so that at least for training purposes the company code should be ready for.
Nitin, I was trying to set up a company code, but I'm not able to post documents because that CDS views are not generated, right? So if we can generate those views, I think we can start practicing.
Okay, we will be doing that, so that's not an issue. Right. So now since we have activated asset accounting new one, so we are done with one step. In the meanwhile, what we have to do is let's be updated. Where is that? Our document. Let's update this. Right. So we activate new asset account, right? This document in future you can refer it for any project as well, so it will give you the sequence of steps. And then we have adjustments in new asset accounting. So we will see all those steps. Right, so we will continue for the next session from this area, this stage. And in the meanwhile, what I'll do is I will share this asset presentation, and then you can go through this presentation in the meanwhile offline, and then we will continue with our migration activities in the system. That was a high-level overview of fixed assets. In the meanwhile, there are a lot of documents available on internet, so you can try to read those. Okay.
Hey, Nitin. Do we have already access to this the HANA system, the Simple Finance system?
We are already in. This is the Simple Finance system.
I mean, like, is there a user profile for all of us, or that is to be created, or
have you got any? For AJ, I don't know about you, but for others, did you get any communication from the Xerantech team, Kavya or somebody about it?
I did not. So maybe I'll check with them in that case. Yeah.
Okay. 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 Perfect.
And Nitin, there was another question I had regarding the Simple Finance certification exam. I mean, does this company also help with registering for the exam? Because even over here in the US, when I was trying to register for the exam, it said that you have to go through the certification hub, you have to subscribe to that certification hub, and when I tried to subscribe to the certification hub, it did not allow me to basically, get subscribed. And I mean, so I was going over there as an independent consultant, and I could not subscribe.
So as of now, there is a there are a lot of people trying this. So number one, certificate is not available in every country. So since you tried in US, I think there is a certificate available. But as of now, I got an email from SAP India team. They have put out those things on hold because they are waiting for next update, and then they will refresh their material and all. So we have to wait for some time. It will be by February end or so, and then they will open the registration. But
Okay.
But the Xerantech team can help you in kind of training thing, but not in that certificate because that's only a department.
AJ,
I guess
you can also check the Pearson. They do SAP certification also.
Oh, the Pearson? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, let me check that. Yeah. And the other thing, Nitin, was that the material that we have for from the SAP material that we have, that AC100 or the AC110, so they are for the version 1503. Is there any material at all from SAP for the current version, the 1511?
So that's what I said. They have not yet released anything for 1511 from material perspective because now they will release in 5th of February, and then the new material will come for February or so. So we are expecting more changes. So as of now, they have not released any specific.
Oh, okay. Okay. I see.
So I would recommend, personally, you have to wait for a month or one and a half month, and then go for certification and all. Because let SAP come up with all the updates and the new study materials, and then try to do that.
Right.
Right. Okay. So we will continue with this, from the session, and I hope you will start the new session from this weekend, right? You will get all these communications and all.
But Nitin, would you be the one who would be teaching in that, or is there like somebody else? Do you know that are you the one, or?
I think they were asking me for the weekend batch, so I have to still answer to the timings and all. So I think it would be me only.
Okay, that is great. I mean, so okay.
Yeah. Right. So see you guys in next session. In the meanwhile, try to read material whatever you have, and then we will continue with our migration step. Right.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.